Alright. Alright, bringing in Kha'Zix. It was an early rotation pick. I did see they had a Mumu and Bard. Otherwise, should be an interesting game. So I'm going to start with Raptors. So I'll start W. Usually always go Talisman. Or Machete just isn't as synergistic with Kha'Zix's abilities as you'd like. He's more caster based than auto attack based, so. And you like starting Raptors first because they give roughly 120 XP more than all the other camps, just because of early junglers. The jungle minion monsters spawn as level 2, and if you're lower level than the jungle camp, then you get bonus XP. So each one of these little raptors give bonus XP, which is why it gives the most experience. Although this is going to be pretty rough, usually I like to get a leash from mid lane. Actually, it wasn't that rough. I guess timer turret did work, but yeah, usually you want to get a leash from your mid laner if you're doing raptors. Otherwise, you might get chunked so hard that it's not actually worth the trouble to go through it. So just kite it towards your next location. Smite wolves. Then go into blue, then into Gromp. Then look for the crab. So with this, you just need to auto it twice. Twice in a Q, or 2 autos, or 3 autos. So you want to move upwards with blue buff, because by the time you reach back down, your green feathers gift will be back up. I'm actually gonna look for. I was thinking of doing crab next, because it's easier to lifesteal off since it doesn't fight you, but this is fine as well. So we're gonna hop over. Be careful not to run into Mumu. He's likely not looking for crab though, so we should be in the clear. Although I do expect him to be looking for a topside gank, so I definitely want to hover around here. Pretty simple. And there's the Amumu, as expected. I'll just look for a recall here. Since he's level 4, he likely did Raptors. Otherwise, he'd likely not be level 4. Not guaranteed, but no point risking walking all the way to Raptors and find out it's taken. And Moon was pretty good at doing Raptors, so it wouldn't be surprised. And looking at his CS, I think he picked up 5 CS, so he had 13, roughly the same as me. So usually I would go to my Raptors on a recall like that, because it's dangerous to leave your Raptors spawn up, because the enemy jungler usually looks for it if they know you started. But in this case, since I know Moon was top, it's unlikely he's gonna be at Raptors, and also he's a Mumu, so he's probably not looking for an invade anyhow. So just use the general knowledge you have of the enemy champions best you can to best fit your route. So get all of them low, so the next W takes them out. Gonna use Smite for the health. Start looking for Scuttle. I'm gonna ward his bot side jungle. So I know Mumu was just here. I could have looked for a deeper ward, like on wolves, but I wanted to see if he was on Scuttle or not. I'm not 6 yet, so I don't really want to do. So I see a Mumu, his top side. I'm honestly just here to get 6, because I'm kind of greedy. Mumu's right there. We can collapse on this pretty easily. Now we can head for Infernal Drake. So I pathed this way to cut off the possibility that they look for jump over. I need him to tank this so I don't die. Or whatever, you know. It's cool. So I knew I could stay there because I had smite up, so I was very ready to get out of there with Leap. Alright, so I want to make my path. I want to try to get a gank around mid, on this top half of mid, try to punish the Syndra with no flash. So I'll look for red, Raptors. Actually, it's okay. I'm gonna go red Raptors, then blue side. I think I'm gonna keep blue for myself. I usually like taking the first blue until I have more sustained. Like mana regen, whether it be from like Ocean or something like that, or if I went like Hunter's Potion, if I had like a buy time for that. Yeah. Oops, cancel an auto there. So just as you're clearing, always just be paying attention to the lanes. For the most part. Like sometimes, most time minimap tells you a lot, but sometimes you want specifically like health values. Like Gangplank's being chased down right now. So if a Mumu is there, he would look for that. So I'm gonna head up. He ended up dying. The Mumu's mid. So I'm gonna take his Krugs here. So I think if this guy teleports top, then we can look to dive him again. Yep. And that's just pretty simple. Easy way to punish. I could look for tower damage, but I'm relatively low, and I'm okay with just resetting here. So next item, I'm gonna look for Black Cleaver. I think it's still pretty good second item. It's pretty consistent with the bonus health, has attack damage, CDR. The pen isn't as useful in early game, but still scales well. Whereas like I've seen a lot of Death Stance, Tiamat builds, and I'm not as big of a fan. but I think it's just a playstyle thing. I like to be more in the front and be able to take a punch for my team. So the extra health kind of helps me do that. I might go Hex Shrinker next item after Black Cleaver, just because I don't want to get one shot by the Syndra. Syndra is a scary guy. Just gonna smite it. I don't mind. I'm gonna path towards top side. I'm gonna see what he's doing mid. Oriana's playing this a bit aggressively. Okay. Alright, grab Scuttle. Cut off a Moo right here. So I backed out there because I had turret aggro there, and I knew Amumu had ult, so I didn't want to really get in all of that. So that's why I backed out. Pretty easy to do with the moon speed, and then went back in because Darius was tanking it. Even so, I did have flash if things got a bit closer. So I'm mostly playing off topside because that's where our advantages are. It's not always best just to look for where your advantages are, but in this case, that guy was a bit overextended. So Drake is coming up in 30, so although I do have Gromp up, and I could path top to make sure we get first top tower, positioning for this Infernal is a good idea as well. I could do red buff because it's up 10 seconds earlier, but I want to prioritize Scuttle Crab. Actually, let's walk down bot. That's fine by me. Because I could flash and try to chase him, but I'd rather just get the Drake. I'd rather not dive. Infernal Drake is like one of those rare Drakes where it's like I will give up the possibility for kills just to make sure it's secured. And although I don't have smite, it doesn't really matter in this case because we just had such a large advantage from Amumu being chunked out and also him having glow flash. So the only thing I could have done better was to aim this directly over the dragon. That was my mistake. You can see a preview of where it's going to land on the minimap, and I just didn't perform it well enough. So I don't really need full mana because I'm going to take blue buff again. I'm just kind of in that carry state. I have a good lead, so I'm going to take it from Ori where she's more supportive, so I hope she doesn't mind. Bot's still pretty low, but it's BF. Yeah, I mean, if you just look at the items, like she has no AD. And although I could be the guy who does the damage and she just like supports, it's a lot riskier than just doing my clear and then looking for counter plays around the map. So though that looks juicy and it could swing bot lane, it's a pretty low percentage play because we don't have as much map pressure bot side as we do top because we have good deep vision. Alright, so Gangplank's mid. So I was looking for a possible gank top. Try to push that even more. Just because he's it's easy to repeat gank. Gangplank once he's really far behind. Alright, so Gangplank spot. Alright, so in this case I'm going to level up W. It's a toss-up between W and E in terms of like what your preferred playstyle is. I thought I wouldn't like W. I thought I was so used to the range of E, but I've noticed that if you're just comfortable with it, it's actually not that big of a deal. We can do Rift now. I could do this as well, but I want to be a bit more higher tempo than that. So this looks like it's going to be a fight. So I just want to zone, or I want someone to zone. I don't want it to be a 50-50 smite fight. That's smooth like butter. So it's actually pretty useful that Bard ulted the Rift Herald, because my smite actually wasn't up yet. But with I could just get ulted here. She didn't use ult in that last. The no damage Jinx, the Hurricane Ninja Tabai. That's okay. You gotta do what you gotta do sometimes. Survive lane phase. Alright. Oh, I should use this before I recall. This goes to the nearest lane, so you can use it like in the jungle and it'll go to the nearest lane. I should have used it a lot sooner. That was I kind of forgot it. I didn't realize I picked it up, to be honest. Okay, so I have enough for Hex Drinker, which is nice. So now I can start giving blues to Ori, because after I finish my Maw, I'll have capped CDR, so it's a bit more efficient to have it on Ori. Alright, so we're able to get an extra tower with Rift. That's nice. Definitely want to use it for a tier 2. Tier 1s are usually pretty easy to get, unless you're pretty far behind. But if you're pretty far behind, you probably didn't get Rift Herald, so it kind of debates that for you. So we have Ocean in 1 minute. I'll see if I can do anything here. It's looking like I can't, though. Grab Scuttlewime here. I didn't realize we were still fighting, or that Darius was still fighting. That's okay. Sometimes the little things escape you when there's not not as useful things like voice comms in the game. Voice comms, I definitely would have known he was going in, because he went in. There we go. So I know Mumu had a recall, so I might as well check if his camps are up, and if they are, might as well take them before Drake spawns. Just being efficient with your time. I'm gonna knock this out, just so they don't see me doing Drake. Okay. Looks like they're forfeiting it. Sorta. I'm gonna look for red buff and raptors. I have heard the legends of doing Baron with ulted Heimer turret. I don't know if that's changed. This is patch 7.10, so the Heimer changes are live. So I'm not sure if it even really changed. I'm not too in. I didn't read too deeply into the Heimer changes. I mean, this might be warded, right? We have a lot of lane shove though. Commit to it. Spicy. That went pretty well. And like I said, Ori can have this blue. I'm max CDR because I have Ma and base. So. It's okay if we give this up. We get Baron and they trade mid outer. Like that's pretty good trade from our perspective. So I hold on to Warding Totem. Kind of out of just experience in my games. I've noticed like when I've wanted to place wards, where I want wards, they haven't been placed. Like for every reason, where it supports prioritizing other parts of the map, something like that. So you might say, why not go like the tracker's knife, so you have multiple wards? I've tried that. It's fine. I like the extra damage though, and the movement speed's really nice synergy with Kha'Zix, who likes to go in and out a lot. So I'm gonna go buff the wave. Baron buff gave us the minions movement speed when they're buffed, so someone should always catch the wave when they can. I don't think he realizes I can just kill him, but so just look for a poke. I want to go catch bot wave. Alright, so I have to play this pretty far back. Very odd. So we didn't get too much off of Baron buff, but when you take Baron at like 20 minutes, you really don't mind too much. It's more just because like at that point the gold value that you get from Baron itself is actually pretty impactful. You know, at like 21 minutes, that extra gold for the team, getting your items, finishing your second item in most cases, is just as strong. But we had a pretty good gold lead going into that whatever this was, and it ended up kind of backfiring. I think it was just in the end, like it was our lower tier of our group, whereas like the powerhouses like me and Darius were. I was there, but there was I was positioning accordingly, in respect that they could engage on us. Whereas our I think the other members were a bit more I must feel bad for them, but that's okay. You don't want to just run at that guy because we don't have knowledge of where these people are. So you just keep putting the waves into their base. It lets you farm it lets you farm their jungle. While you're pushing all these waves into here, so although we lost a member, so we kind of have to respect that we're down a guy. Scuttle's not up, so there's not too much I can do, and just back off. couple flashes out of that. I missed that pretty badly. My mouse was not properly centered. Completely my fault. Really no excuse. Yeah. I kind of threw that fight. Like, I have to be doing a lot more work than whatever that was. Yeah, but can't play everything perfectly. In that case, that was far from perfect. And although I don't have smite, this should be a pretty safe take. And if not, then I can just bail out and we just lose an ocean over it. Not a big deal. Actually gonna just keep farming. Because I think I'm close to, yep, I had GA. I actually had GA, but I might as well just clear these out. Alright. So I have GA in base, that's pretty good. So my next item can be a bit more offensive. I've pretty much, these are all defensive items in a sense. And I can look to go maybe like a Dusk Blade. Okay, that looks clean. So I'm gonna go bot, try to answer this Gangplank if he stays. Alright, he's not, so we can look to push mid. So normally I would, once I saw Gangplank going bot, I would have just went there, but since I'm such a large portion of my team's gold, this guy's out of position, then I want to be where my team is fighting. So sometimes I evolve my ultimate kind of out of a whim. Sometimes I really, if it's like really skirmish heavy, I look for the longer invisibility to try to take advantage of repositioning myself in team fights. In this case, I don't think it's very skirmish heavy. I think this is very straightforward front back team comp that we can definitely play around with just normal invis. So I'm getting pretty low because our tank's not here. Yeah, I mean that's what we call close. I have GA, so I don't mind getting Syndra ulted. See if we're still going. I'm gonna come from the side. Grab these minions. Yeah, I don't really like 50-50 smites like that. Because although it's like cool, it's like, oh yeah, I got the smite. It's RNG. Like, let's be honest. Like, either one of us could have gotten that. So I really don't like those. Because although you get all the credit, you definitely get all the blame, especially when you don't want to do it. So it was whatever. Next item, I was gonna look for Dusk Blade just to finish out the item build. GG.